And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day and spending some time with here. We want to help you win in any marketplace. We do that by bringing on all these great expert contributors, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, executive coaches, and much more on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So reach out to the hotline. We'd love to connect with you and save you time and money when it comes to your business decisions, your real estate, credit, finance, estate, and tax planning. So many different ways we can help you here. 813-917-1894. And we got a great lineup for you here on the program. AC Guy of Tampa going to be coming on later. We've got executive coach Sam McCown as well in studio, Alive and at Peace Coaching, as well as Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. We're going to talk about the markets. Also going to talk about food pyramid, interesting whistleblower case that came out about the food pyramid and some of the corruption relating to a large company named Coca-Cola. Also, home buyer sentiment rises in January for the first time in a year thanks to lower mortgage rates. We're going to talk about that, supply and demand as well. And before we do, we always like to feature our real estate listings live on air, and we help our sellers profit more and sell faster utilizing our innovations with radio, TV, and internet marketing. So we got a hot property listing here in Dunedin, Florida, 2156 Masters Court. This is a beautiful condo, and bring your golf cart on over to this beautiful condo in Dunedin, Florida. You've got over 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it is a condo with 2 owner suites. You got cozy living room, large windows, comes with double carport, community pool as well. You're very close to the pool, so you walk right over and you can take a dip in the pool. And you are right around the corner from the beautiful beaches of Honeymoon Island and the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters over at 2156 Masters Court, Dunedin, Florida, Pinellas County condo, available from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Another hot listing here in Zephyr Hills. This one's 35549 Stella Vast Drive. This is in Pasco County, and it's a single-family home. A beautiful property here, 1,846 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. You got granite countertops, large island kitchen with a huge island built in. You got a bar, resort-style amenities, including a pool, clubhouse, playground, and scenic trails as well. And in the backyard, you've got a water view. Beautiful property in Pasco County, Stella Vast Drive in Zephyr Hills. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, raising our glass to those saving our ass overseas. That's what Cole Swindell says in that clip there. And Mark, I know you have a place in your heart for veterans as well.
Absolutely. I mean, thank the Lord for them.
Absolutely. Keeping us safe here, domestic and overseas, and there's a lot going on today. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to my Bengals. I don't know if you know it or not, but we were playing in the AFC Championship again against Mahomes. So
I like them.
We spanked them last year. I'm looking forward to it again this year.
I like them.
I like them.
Joe Burrow is something else.
They went into Buffalo, and I didn't think it would be a dismantlement like that. I thought it would be a lot closer. But
that was interesting.
Wow. In the snow, in Buffalo. I was impressed, so I'm excited.
December NFL right there.
I just want to see one time in my life the Bengals win a Super Bowl. Like,
there
I just want to see it.
Well, hey, the Cubs did it, so we got it,
I like Joe Burrow, though, so we'll see. I think
it's wide open. I think it's wide open, and I think San Francisco is looking strong.
Well, so the Eagles. I think the games this weekend are going to be very entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. So
absolutely. So we got Mark Haye in studio here. Now, he's our financial advising expert, all things relating to the markets and retirement plans. And, basically where to put your money. We all work very hard for our dollar. And, of course, our dollar isn't going very far these days, thanks to the folks in D.C. But, Mark, what do we need to know, and what can we do about it? What kind of action items can we take?
Yeah, well, the one thing I was going to talk about today was particularly long-term care. So we're talking about inflation. Long-term care has outpaced inflation in the last few years remarkably, double-digit numbers. But the one thing that's alarming that people are not catching on to, 30 states have now enacted FILIA laws. And FILIA laws, all that means is if your parents have unpaid medical bills, assisted living, or nursing home, and they pass, the kids now get sued by the state and the facilities to pay those bills.
Wow.
Okay? And so here's how it works. In Florida, it's not a law yet. Okay? I say yet because everybody's moving down here, retiring here, and we have a very large population of senior citizens, retired people, et cetera, that actually go into assisted living nursing home care.
Sure.
So in Florida, we don't have that law yet, but in the state of Ohio, where I'm from, and my parents are at, they have these laws. So I would be affected in the event that my parents went into a home or had unpaid bills, and it's going to come down and say, okay, now we're going to sue you for that money.
Even from Ohio to Florida?
Correct.
Wow.
Because I'm the kid. Now, I have 2 siblings, so let's just use my example. Now, I do have long-term care plans for my parents, but let's just say they didn't have it. I had 3. I have a brother and a sister, so 3 siblings. And let's just use my mother. My mother goes into a nursing home, racks up $250,000 of care, ends up passing, doesn't have the ability to pay it. The state of Ohio can only come after me because they can say, well, you have the ability to pay it.
Right.
And you're responsible to pay the whole $250,000.
Right.
Okay? It's up to me to go sue my siblings.
Jeez.
To then pay me back for what I had to pay for the care.
Yeah.
Okay, which is insane.
That's ridiculous, yeah.
Now, what is scary, and it's happening, is if you don't pay it, they're going to garnish your wages.
Sure.
They're going to put liens in your house. They're going to take away bank accounts. Okay, and they're going to put you in jail for up to 120 days if you don't start paying these bills.
Wow.
And so I tell people, I said, long-term care is a huge problem in retirement, and people don't plan for it. And people are realizing how important it is because we have parents or grandparents that are in assisted living. So, for example, if you're married, the odds are 1 out of 2, so a husband and wife, one of you is going to need care in retirement.
Right.
Okay? As people live longer and medication and technology continues to improve, people are living longer and needing that care.
Yeah.
Okay? And the care is a minimum of $250,000 you got to earmark for that care.
Per year?
Total in retirement.
Okay, $250. Okay.
Because right now, here in the state of Florida, you're about $110,000 to go into a full-fledged nursing home.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what happens is typically, let's say the husband needs care. Well, the wife's not just going to not take care of them, okay, and vice versa. So she's going to spend their money, their retirement, everything else to take care of them. He passes, and a lot of times there's no life insurance, and now she's without retirement plans. She loses his pension and a Social Security.
Wow.
And she has to live on Social Security, and now all of a sudden she needs care.
Yeah.
Well, now there's no more money to pay for her care. Now that trickles down to the kids. Mm-hmm. And it's not just going to go unpaid.
Wow.
So that's why these FILIA laws are now being enacted. The first one was 2012. Well, now 10 years, 11 years later, it's catching on, and people are starting to realize, wait a second, I'm on the hook for this, and I have to pay this. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my wages. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to do all these things. And again, all the government has to do, or these facilities have to do, is just know that you have the ability to pay it, and you are responsible for it.
Wow.
And it's up to you to sue your siblings and everybody else.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
That is, to me, that is just, wow, that's overstepping. And it shows you, again, we're going to play this food pyramid clip. It shows you how the power of lobbies and influence, right? So I guarantee you behind the scenes, the assisted living facilities, the medical, the doc, whoever, they're lobbying behind the scenes to make that the case. And then I guarantee you also, you ever see how some of the talk shows will go on the street and they'll have a mic and they say, hey, what do you think about, or even something simple like who was the first president of the United States?
Oh, it's embarrassing and almost cringing
so you
to
ask,
watch that.
I guarantee you ask 100 people that question about the FILIA laws. Nobody knows that.
No. But they will. Unfortunately,
the hard way.
I tell people all the time, you have a long-term care plan. It's either the government or you're going to do it yourself.
Right.
Everybody has it.
Right.
It's just a matter of who you want it to be. And do you want your monies when you take your last breath to go to the government or a nursing home facility, or do you want to go to your family?
Right.
And so that's part of the planning that we do. And there is different ways to implement long-term care plans. You can have a traditional long-term care plan. You can use your life insurance policy. You can use annuities. There's different ways to pay for it.
Right.
Business owners is another big thing, and I know we'll get to the food pyramid, but business owners, if you own a business, you can have long-term care policies on you, your spouse, your kids, employees. You can discriminate, and it's 100% deductible to the business. Does not show up anybody's W-2 as income. It's just straight 100% deductible, and you get all those benefits tax-free, and the employees can take it with them when they leave. So it's a really good thing to give key man people or important people inside your business something that no one else is doing.
And a retention tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get that deduction, which business owners always want that deduction. Deduct. What can I do, to lower these taxes? And we all know taxes are going up too. So it's just it's something, for people to think about. But we do have great options to do it. But If you don't do it, you have a plan. It's just the government.
Yeah, and you got to start planning now and take small steps. If sometimes it seems overwhelming to people, take a small step. It'll be amazing what you look back over 5 years, 7 years. You're like, oh wow, I didn't realize I was only kicking in X amount a month, and then now I've got X amount dollars sitting there. I mean, it really compounds, and
Absolutely.
That's the power of doing it the smart way. 21st Century Financial, Mark Haye is our expert contributor we're talking to here. 813-917-1894. Call the hotline. We'll put you in touch with Mark, 813-917-1894. brimes@kw.com as well. And Mark, I want to play this clip. We kind of teased it, whistleblower. This is very interesting to me because it talks about, if you look at the government and all of the so-called conspiracy theories over the last year, FDA, the CDC, now the food pyramid affecting. This is very interesting. Here's a clip from another podcast I listened to where it talks about, and the investigative side of this is very interesting.
Well, essentially, large food companies have purchased influence with politicians, special interest groups, public health officials, and researchers at some of the country's most prestigious academic institutions, and use that influence to buy subsidies and bogus research that helps them push high-sugar, low-quality food on millions of people. A whistleblower named Callie Means has been speaking out recently, exposing just how blatant some of the corruption has become. Means is a former consultant for Coca-Cola and has recently tweeted out about a quid pro quo he saw in the backroom negotiations the company had with the NAACP. That tweet got almost 12 million views and provoked a media firestorm. I spoke to Means, who was shocked by how transparent the agreement was.
It was an explicit playbook. The first step is to identify civil rights groups. In this case, with Coke, it was the NAACP and the Hispanic Federation. The agreement is that Coke pays them millions of dollars and they call opponents racist. In this case, the opponents were parents that were concerned about their kids, drinking 100 times more sugar, ingesting 100 times more sugar than a kid did 100 years ago, which is leading to absolute devastation for the health.
And it all seems to be, at least these two examples, when you think about the school boards, what happened with the parents, and then now Coke paying millions of dollars to special interest groups like the NAACP to call their opponents racist. The old playbook, right? Don't believe them, don't agree with them, call them racist, right? NAACP, the money spent, large food companies, whistleblowers, quid pro quo, and Coca-Cola, one of the worst in my book, especially what they did last year with, what was it? Try to be less white, try to act less white. Unbelievable. Just think about if you flipped that and said, try to be less any other color,
right? Except
white.
Well, I mean, there's so much to talk about there, but, I take a step back, and people are getting away from, you can have different opinions and you can have different beliefs and you can have those conversations without automatically calling somebody a racist,
exactly,
or putting them down. I grew up, and we didn't have a lot of money, but I grew up and we didn't have Coke. We didn't drink soda. My parents thought that it's not good for you and you should not have it. It's something that we had as a treat someday. Like, we went to somebody's house at a birthday party, you can have a cup of Coke, but that was it. We didn't have it at the house and everything else. And some people, my kids can have Coke. I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter, but I do think that people need to be educated. It's not something healthy that you can put into your body and it's going to be good for you.
Right.
It's sugar, it's syrup, it's everything else. And so for Coke to go in there and just pay millions of dollars to people to bash their people that don't agree with them or opponent, and it's happening too much. Not just Coke, it's happening on too many platforms and too many areas, and that's why a lot of people get all wild up. And you think, wait a second, take a step back and figure out why this is happening. Follow the money.
Yeah.
A lot of times you just follow the money and see where it's coming or why they're saying it, and all of a sudden it's there. But I'm one where I don't think Coca-Cola should be accessible in elementary schools and junior high. I just don't think that should be something that you can go do it.
Every corner has a Coke machine and a snack machine with junk in it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that you get to high school, maybe you're a little more educated by then, but we have a serious problem in this country when it comes to obesity and diabetes, and our health is a factor right now. And I think that just shoving Coca-Cola at these kids, of course, if you're a 9-year-old kid, you want Coca-Cola. I mean, everybody wants it. It tastes good, of course. But water or the Gatorade or whatever it is just a better opportunity, or milk or juice. I don't know. I just think just shoving Coke at people is crazy to me. But It's
and it has that same reaction. Sorry to interrupt. It has that same reaction to the brain. You've heard this study about like cocaine, sugar and cocaine. So, anyways, bringing that back, Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, that can affect the markets, and the markets can be swayed in a lot of different ways. So, instead of trying to do it on your own, picking stocks, trying to figure out where to put my money, we want you to talk to Mark Haye and get an opinion from him. And here's another idea: if you already have a great financial advisor, somebody you've been working with for years, a wealth coach, talk to Mark anyways. Get a second opinion. It never hurts to get a second opinion, Mark. 1 minute, back to you.
Yep, and I appreciate that. And every time there's something like this, it's an opportunity. So Coke's stock probably will go down. It's an opportunity to go in. Because when you go woke, you go broke, and we've seen it. Disney did the same thing. So, but yeah, you can reach out to me anytime, 727-804-7220. I appreciate being on the show and appreciate the dialogue with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Always a pleasure having you in, Mark, and we appreciate you bringing that great advice today. Man, I had no idea about those laws. How do you spell that? Is that an F or a PH?
Scary. Yeah, F-I-L-I-A-L.
Philo.
Philia.
You
got it.
Wow, interesting. All right, hey, thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Have a good day.
Coming up, Sam McCown, Alive and at Peace Coaching. We're going to talk with Sam about some of his tips and what's going on in his business. Coming up later in the show as well, we've got a discrete set of wearable muscles restores mobility in those who have trouble moving their arms. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, everybody, it's the Captain, Matt Bruce, and you're listening to my buddy, Brandon Rhymes, a Consumer Quarterback. Sell, Brandon, sell.